All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. We are into 1.5 right now, which we are focusing on the measuring and the construction of angles. For this video specifically, we're going to be focusing on the introduction to angles. We'll learn how to define an angle. We're going to learn how to name an angle. We're going to talk about the parts of an angle. And then we're going to look at classifying angles simply by their degree measure. So let's dive right on into what an angle simply is. Well, this kind of may be, common sense or something that's very well versed for you. When we think about an angle, we usually think of, some kind of certain degree measure that goes along with it. And that's true. I mean, don't get me wrong, that is true. But specifically speaking, the angle as a figure is actually just simply two rays that have the same endpoint. It's really all that it is. So in this example, we see that we have AC, the ray, AB, the ray, and those are two rays that have the same endpoint of A. They created an angle because of it. And so what we end up seeing is that the angle has two parts. The parts are the vertex, and that is the middle letter of how we label our angle, and then it has the two sides, which are actually the rays themselves. So in this particular example, we would go ahead and label this angle, and there's our symbol for angle. We can name this angle BAC, or we can go in reverse order, angle CAB, or we could just simply call it angle A. Now, what we're going to notice that as we continue on, we're not going to simply be able to name it by its vertex only. Why is that? Well, let's take an example here. What if I just extended the line out here, and I said there's going to be a second line right here, and I said there's a point here, we're going to call that point D, and I'm going to call this point E right here. Well, if I just call it angle A, the question that I have for you is, well, which angle A? Because angle A is the vertex of CAB, it would be the vertex of DAC, and it would be the vertex of DAE. So we cannot simply call it by the angle A when there is more than one angle attached to that vertex. Let's take a look here at a couple examples. I want to name the angles in the figure. So in this example, I've got a point P, so I could have PQS as one of my angles. So I could say angle PQS. And that would be this angle here. So let me go ahead and just kind of give it some focus. Let me change colors and then take a look at a different angle. I could take a look here at SQR. I could take a look here at angle SQR, and I'm putting different numbers of arcs around it. So we'll see why in a second. Angle SQR. And then last but certainly not least, don't forget about the big angle, guys. We've got PQR. So we would have this entire angle PQR. And of course, I could go in reverse order for any of these. RQP, RQS, and SQP. All could have done in reverse order there. So let's talk here about the difference between interior and exterior of an angle. When we're talking about interior and angle, we're talking everything that happens in between the sides of the angle. And when we're talking exterior, we're talking everything that happens outside of the angle. Now, I always kind of use a corny little way to explain this, and it's just simply thinking of it as a gator's mouth. If the angle is a gator's mouth, you're in the danger zone if you are inside of the gator's mouth, all right? If you're on the exterior, you're safe from everything that happens inside of that gator's mouth. So that's going to wrap up here our examples and focus on the definition and naming of angles. In our next video, we will learn to classify angles.